Stan Lee says that the reason why Spidey is so popular is because all of us can relate to him, and I agree. I needed Spidey in my life when I was a kid, and he gave me hope. In every comic I read, he was living out mine and every skinny boy's fantasy of being stronger, of being free of the body I was born into, and that swinging sensation of flight. And upon receiving his power, unlike most who become corrupted, he used it for good. And I think we all wish that we had the courage to stick up for ourselves more, to stick up for a loved one more, or even a stranger you see being mistreated. And Peter Parker has inspired me to feel stronger. He made me, Andrew, braver. He reassured me that by doing the right thing, it's worth it. It's worth the struggle. It's worth the pain. It's worth even the tears, the bruises, and the blood. And I wouldn't be able to stand here in front of you guys right now without feeling that Spider-Man was here with me, with his reassuring hand on my shoulder, making sure I don't fall over and concuss myself. And he has inspired countless people, girls, boys, men, women, all of us. And he has saved lives, and he saved my life. And I owe Webhead a lot, and I owe Stan the Man a lot, and I'm humbled to be here like you do not know.
Hello everybody, it's me, your friendly neighborhood, and it's no big surprise that I'm a huge Spider-Man fan. Arachnid, this is literally the 8th time in a video you started off talking about how much you love Spider-Man. How about you shut the fuck up? As far back as I can remember, I've always loved Spider-Man. The Raimi movies have something to do with that, since they were the biggest pieces of Spider-Man media I was consuming at the time, but also reading the comics, because one of my teachers noticed I loved Spider-Man all the way back in kindergarten, so she would give me Spider-Man comics as a reward for doing well in class. I wish I still had those. Sadly, I lost them to time. Most notably, the one I remembered most from my childhood is the return of Dr. Octopus from The Amazing Spider-Man 11 in the original Stan Lee and Ditko run. I remember this comic specifically because it was the one where he and Betty Brant were still a thing. And kid me was extremely confused because, like, this isn't Mary Jane. Where's Mary Jane?
Where is MJ? Pretty redhead, arm in a cast. You are no help!
So to set the stage, I got some fellow content creators to help bring this comic to life. At least some specific parts of it.
A world-famous superhero doesn't spend all his time fighting deadly menaces. There are moments he spends alone, deep in thought, mulling over the past and pondering the future. Such a superhero is Spider-Man, and such a moment is this.
Ever since Betty Brant left town, I've been carrying a king-size torch. I've got to snap out of it. Gotta try to forget her. Oh, who am I kidding? I'll never forget her. Never stop searching for her. If only I knew why she left town so suddenly. If only I had some clue.
We interrupt this program for breaking news.
What's on the radio?
Having served his full prison term, the notorious Dr. Octopus is to be released today.
Hearing that terse announcement, Spider-Man suddenly forgets Betty Brant for the moment as he travels back in memory to one of the most dangerous battles of his entire career.
Dr. Octopus to be released? They can't do it. They mustn't. He's one of the most dangerous men alive. Even I, with all my power, ain't close to being defeated by him.
The blasted web!
Even though he can no longer see me, his other arms are now around me, pulling me towards him with his incredible strength.
So Betty had basically gotten herself into a financial pickle, and she skips town to avoid Peter getting himself involved. While Peter is still trying to wrap his head around this, he hears that Dr. Otto Octavius is about to be released, and that puts that man in trauma mode. He's basically going,
If they set that android free, it will be the end of all of us! No!
I also find it weird they never removed Doc Ock's tentacles. Like, yeah, let's allow the supervillain that terrorized the city with his extra appendages to keep said appendages. He totally won't use them in a nefarious way whatsoever. He breaks Blackie out of jail and tries to kill Spider-Man.
So that was a fucking lie.
Also, cool thing, within this comic, it's the birthplace of a spider tracer. Another thing I never noticed until now is that Peter in the original comics had a good portion of knowledge about guns. Even to the point to where he sees somebody carrying a firearm, he knows how many shots they have, how many he'll have to dodge, and it will even taunt the criminals once he knows they're out of ammo.
His heart filled with a burning rage, a vengeful Spider-Man goes after Blackie Gaxton.
Get you, Gaxton. There's no place on Earth you can run to now.
Blast you!
You ruined everything! But I'm not finished yet!
That's it, Gaxton. I've counted the shots. Your gun's empty.
Boys, hold him! Keep him away from me!
There's only one language a killer like you understands, and this is it.
Ugh! I miss this Spider-Man. Where did he go? Now all we have is...
Whose idea was it to have a gun club in the city? Start a petition. Replace all the gun clubs with something better. Like a compliment club. Compliments don't hurt anyone, and they're free.
And...
Done begging for validation. From you. From anyone. You stay out of this. I'm finally in control. Always about you. You can't keep a job. You can't pay the mortgage.
I have a job with Harry. We'll be okay.
And for how long? There's only one job you care about. Spider-Man. The city do without Spider-Man. Look how it's doing with you.
I can still fix this. I always do. We always do.
I always come second. I live in your shadow where my dreams turn to dust. You always were arrogant.
And let's not forget... I know this will come off as a very pretentious thing to say, but modern Spider-Man just kind of sucks. The newer comics treat him like he's a bumbling retard who just can't seem to do anything right. Can't keep a relationship down, can't talk to women in the slightest, and won't even put MJ and Peter back together because, oh good fucking lord!
Leave me alone.
God, please end my suffering, make it stop. I've actually been returning to a lot of older Spider-Man media and reminding myself of what makes me love Spider-Man. The real Spider-Man, not whatever Marvel editorial wants to sell you, the forever loser, the bitch list, has no game, can't catch a break, always unlucky, always fucking stupid, and always has to look like he belongs in high school. No joke, that's literally what they fucking said in the middle of me writing this script. I'm gonna crash out.
Don't you want to stop him?
No, I want to kill him.
But what drew me to Spider-Man all those years ago? So much to where I still can't put him down, even to this day. Well, it's because of what Spider-Man stands for. Spider-Man is just like everybody else. He'll have ups, he'll have downs, he'll have off days, and he'll have good days. Spider-Man, despite his intelligence, his strength, his power, he never views himself as better than anyone else. Even the criminals he goes up against. Even when he's slandered by the media and the public think he's the worst thing to happen to New York since 9/11, even when his greatest enemies team up against him or are out for his blood, even when he's battered, bruised, hungry, sick, and fucking tired, Spider-Man still steps up to the challenge and takes it all head on. And while he may be knocked down, he may be thrashed around, he may take a few bad hits, in the end, he still wins because he still gets up and he never gives up. Spider-Man also embodies something that everyone who loves the character loves about him. The fact that Spider-Man, or in this case, at most of the time Peter Parker, grows up. Spider-Man has always had the theme of responsibility coinciding with the fact that Peter had to grow up, take on responsibility, and become the man he's supposed to be. I've personally been struggling with a lot of personal issues. Of course, 2024 has been a harsh year on both me and my girlfriend. I could have thrown in the towel, I could have given up, I could have buckled under the pressure and left and erased my existence. But ultimately, I decided not to. I decided to get back up and keep going. Because ultimately, Spider-Man wouldn't give up, so why should I? There's a little bit of Spider-Man in all of us. Growing up, taking on responsibility, we may not have powers, but we will still go through day-to-day struggles of life. Now, here's the second biggest question I've been asked since I started this channel 8 years ago, and yes, it really has been that long. Why did I decide to do YouTube in the first place? Well, it's because I wanted an outlet to express myself. I used to watch a lot of YouTube whenever I was on the computer at my aunt's house waiting to go to school back in 4th grade. I remember vividly watching Angry Video Game Nerd's Spider-Man game video and the Spider-Man, Hulk, and Iron Man team-up animation that I still low-key think was supposed to be a sneak peek to Marvel's Ultimate Alliance game, since all three of their models look eerily similar to how they appear in the game. Then a few years later in 2011, I got my own PC. Not the one I have now. It was a hand-me-down PC. It was a shitty piece of hardware that couldn't even handle playing Roblox. You could tell it was only for the most basic of purposes, but damn, would I push it to its limits. Hell, I somehow even got free Wi-Fi from a dongle my aunt had no clue about. At the time, the house had AT&T, but the dongle was Netgear. And I used the PC to play a lot of browser games like Tropica and Superhero Squad Online. But I'd also watch a lot of YouTube at this time. This would be considered the golden age of YouTube. I'd watch heavy hitters like PewDiePie, Markiplier, Jacksepticeye, The Rad Brad, Smosh. They never failed to make me laugh. So later in 2015, on my birthday, I had gotten a Samsung Galaxy Tab A, made my email, set it up, and decided to make my own channel. But I didn't have a proper name yet. And in the infinite wisdom of 15-year-old blunderage, I decided to name myself and the channel after my OC Spider Teen.
Hello everybody, it's actually Spider Teen here.
Got it. I feel so retarded. I wish I could go back in time and tell them to change the name to something different sooner. And the rest was history from there. Funny enough, if you go back and look at my catalog of videos, you'll notice that despite me being a Spider-Man themed channel, I never really made much Spider-Man themed or centered content. Most of it was just me playing Roblox and Minecraft and fucking around with some of my friends. I didn't really have a direction for my content, much less a real vision. I just uploaded whatever I felt like uploading and hoped it entertained whoever stumbled upon it. I didn't really start editing my content until around 2017, and that's when this gem of an intro was born. Yeah, I know longtime watchers just got a nostalgia trip from hearing that theme again. You can also see around this time, you'll notice that a lot of my content is Roblox focused because Roblox was the easiest game I could get my hands on through my high school laptop, and recorded side by side with my friend Mario. Send the recording to my phone, edited on a free version of fucking Power Director Mobile. You know, shout out to Cyberlink for carrying the channel for a period of time. I was still kind of a novice at this point, hence why you can see the Power Director watermark in some of those videos. Then I learned there was a bundle version where you have a special code, you can get the whole kit and caboodle for free. No restrictions and whatever editing stuff they had available. But funny enough, they took it down. Gee, I wonder why. So I had to rely on a pirated version to edit videos, and even then that came with its own set of problems. Because sometimes the video would be full of edits, I wouldn't be able to render it at full resolution, and it would eat up a shitload of storage. So some, if not a good majority of the videos I made around that time, if they were longer than 5 minutes, the quality was sacrificed. You know what, fuck it, shout out to Android as a whole for giving me the ability to do the shit I was able to do. If I had an Apple phone, I wouldn't have been able to do half the shit I did on Android. As a matter of fact, Android editing carried this channel all the way until 2019. Yeah, Android helped me for that long, and it was during that time you could see a shift in the content I was making. Much less about gaming, more about commentary, with gaming playing in the background because, you know, Leafy was here was popular at the time, and commentary seemed less of a hassle to do, though you can definitely tell I adopted more of a personality of being a snarky asshole, having little to no filter, roasting people into oblivion for saying the dumbest shit I have ever seen in my life. All activities that Spider-Man would do instead of, you know, if he didn't have the powers of a spider, he had a laptop, a blue snowball, microphone, and a dream. And even littered amongst these videos, you can see hints of things I was trying just to try out. My figure reviews came as the brainchild of me watching way too much Jobber the Hong. That's why my first figure review is Ultimate Swivel Man. Listen, I know I've been talking a mile a minute, I am sorry. I just wanted to talk about my YouTube journey and ultimately why I decided to do YouTube. I like to entertain people, make people laugh, make people think, and hopefully make someone's day. A lot of people come to me, either privately or even in my own comments, thanking me for being around, doing videos on topics nobody really cares about, and all around being a chill guy. If you're wondering what my personal favorite video is, well, I think it's my second Swayze VA roast. Even though that shit's an hour long, I personally like that way more than the first one. The first video was made late and I didn't have too much contact with people who were involved in the situation, and the few I was able to get a hold of, a small percentage of them were willing to be involved in the video, which I can understand considering the nature of it. The second video was spawned because two of his exes sought me out and let me know he was still active. I believe I was actually fresh off the heels of a breakup, and I just wanted something, anything, to take my anger out on. What better way to do that than to roast the hell of a child predator? And while the video didn't really do numbers, it did attract the right people. And you know what? It felt more rewarding to get the message out. And last I heard, he's being prosecuted, so I hope they throw him under the jail and toss out the jail. All that to say, even if it wasn't until more recent years where I started doing Spider-Man content, you can still feel the Spider-Man influence based on how I carried out things. I started off rather bold, doing whatever I wanted, but now that I've mellowed out, I still kind of do whatever I want, but with the added caveat, it's something I enjoy making content on. And yeah, I may not be a big channel. Hell, even after nearly 8 years, I've only accumulated almost 6K subs. And you know what? I'm fine with that. I didn't set out to be the biggest channel. I just want people to enjoy what I do. There's always this one line from the original 60s Spider-Man intro. Wealth and fame, he's ignored. Action is his reward. I may not get the recognition I deserve, or what a lot of my comments perceive I deserve. The fact that there's even one person out there that enjoy what I do, for what it is good enough for me. And I got a lot of stuff planned for this year. Me and Roger have also made plans getting our lives back on track because the entirety of last year kind of just derailed both of us. We're also planning on getting an apartment later this year if everything goes to plan. Now you're probably wondering, am I going to ask you to monetarily help us? No, not at all. Both of us have pretty stable jobs. Hal Roderick is about to start a new job working with me, and she seems pretty committed to racking up overtime since she has a lot of time for it while I have school, and I have a whole ass list of video ideas to write scripts for. But hey, if you ever want to support us, I do have links where you can donate. Friendly reminder, that the content you consume is free, and if you do donate, ask that you be financially responsible about it. But now that all that shit is off my chest, I can't really end the video without feedback from fans. I put up a community post about a week ago asking you guys what you love about Spider-Man or how much this channel has impacted you, so I might as well show that. And in the meantime, I got a lot of work to do. I am the Arachnid Youth. I love Spider-Man. So do these guys. I'll see you guys in the next one. See ya. Hey, you made it this far into the video? Well, thanks. I really do appreciate the support you guys have given me. And we're trying to do 2025 right this time. 2025 is going to be a year of growth. Now, if you be ever so kindly and stick around, there's a little bit more in this video that's left to watch.
I chose my path, you chose the way of the hero. And they found you amusing for a while. But the one thing they love more than a hero is to see a hero fail, fall, die trying. In spite of everything you've done for them, eventually they will hate you. Why bother?
Because it's right. I will never forget these words. Great power comes great responsibility. This is my gift. My curse. Who am I? I'm Spider-Man.
You know, I always do my own thing going on my business, but I always avoid Spider-Man like it's the plague. Everywhere I go, I see the logo. There's no doubt about it. But that once changed when I met him. The Spider Raimi shill Arachnid. He enlightened me about his figures and Spider-Man. And I'm not gonna lie, he's actually kinda cool. As time goes on, we've been through hell and back, and then something changed. I too became a Spider-Man fan. So I guess you can call me Spider Rogel.
Oh, my lucky stars! A Negro!